Good evening. In recent years, the use of AI language models, such as ChatGPT, have become increasingly popular on college campuses. Students and faculty are using these models to improve their writing and research, to generate new ideas, and to automate repetitive tasks. However, there are concerns of the potential impacts of these models on the writing and thinking skills of students, as well as the ethics of using AI to generate original work. As universities According to a survey of 1,000 college students, 30% use ChatGPT to complete homework, and that number continues to grow.
I have used ChatGPT. I've used it for assignments before and to help generate images as well.
Yeah, I used it a little bit. I used it for look up new recipes and workout regimens.
I have used ChatGPT. I work doing social media for a local boutique in New Canaan, Connecticut, and it's hard sometimes coming up with catchy and engaging Instagram captions, so it helps me generate different captions here and there.
As more students become aware of the convenience AI models such as ChatGPT have to offer, experts in the media literacy field, such as Professor Sidney Gottlieb, share their concerns surrounding the ethics and impacts of these models.
I'm new to ChatGPT. I even say it wrong. That's how new I am to it. And really, I've had limited exposure to it, but I sort of feel obligated to try it out because everybody's talking about it. Everybody wants to hear, especially what a professor and a professor of media studies has to say about it. So I think it's important for me to try to get educated about it. I think it's difficult to predict what the impact on any number of levels is going to be, because it's still such a new thing and it's a work in progress. Like all technology, and this is something everybody's going to say, it's a tool, it can be used badly, it can be used goodly, so maybe a certain amount is in the hands of who uses it and how we use it. To be honest, I'm not sure I envision making great use of it, but maybe I will be educated about possible uses that will improve my life. So far, I don't have a sense how it would improve my life. I'm mostly worried about it.
While ChatGPT is harmful to the integrity of education to some, other professors find it to be a helpful and necessary tool to integrate into college curriculum. Award-winning experimental filmmaker and founder of Next Reality Labs, Professor Shanshan Wang, expresses the challenges she faced integrating AR, VR, and XR into college education, as well as the benefits ChatGPT and other AI models have to offer.
I think they will have different challenges for sure. And then I think integrating AI into education would have a much less of a hurdle compared to integrating virtuality and augmented reality in education. Because as you can see, to support the integration of AR and VR, we need to have a lab, right? It's a lab environment. And then for me, my area is focusing on development. So it does have some technological hurdle, right, about the education of programming, education, even the sort of logics of game, logics of computer science. It needs to be there. So it might take a little bit of more time and patience for students to get to the speed of that they could create something independently and create something that's really meaningful and innovative. So I think the integration of these sort of chatbot into the classroom will be much easier because it doesn't require any software, any hardware integration, and it also does not require any sort of pre-technological understanding of the platform.
ChatGPT's accessibility and convenience make it a useful tool for repetitive tasks. But according to Dr. Day Abreu, the founder of the International Media Literacy Research Symposium and president of the International Council of Media Literacy, the concern lies elsewhere.
To automate repetitive tasks, I think that part is not the problem. I think that part is probably where ChatGPT is a great, maybe a wonderful and a viable solution, but I don't think that's where the concern is. I think the concern is when you take some humanistic connections and try to automate those, and that creates a disconnect between people. People need to acknowledge that when new technologies come and we're evolving into these new streams, we have to look at consequences as much as we're looking at productivity and positivity with it. It comes it's a double-edged sword, is basically what I'm saying. It's never that it's all 100% the best thing that's ever happened to us. If we look back and see about how like iPads were introduced to us, where we thought it was going to solve all these issues in education, which it did not, the same thing can be true with this. It is a tool. It has possibilities, but there's a reckoning that's going to come with that as well when we think about how it may be used as the voice of another person and not the person itself, when it actually eliminates voices because it's creating its own version of a voice. And so we have to think about things like representation. We have to think about if it repeats things, like it's copying information that's out there right now in some regard. So what if it's misinformation or disinformation? How's that actually going to streamline into how we look at the way we see the ecosystem of information today? So it has positivity and possibilities, but it also has consequences.